Brian and Kenzie in the morning. And Chicago's alternative all day.
Q101.
Incubus with Brian and Kenzie on Q101. That was for Lisa checking in from Joliet, reminiscing about the show at the Allstate Arena just a week and a half ago. That incredible show with Incubus. So thanks, Lisa, for listening in Joliet. Thanks to the entire city of Joliet for listening this morning. It's Brian and Kenzie on Q101. Just a reminder, the word is play, P-L-A-Y. Text that to 312-591-8300 for your chance to get to the Q101 pop-up with The Offspring. And now, time for an announcement about another pop-up. This would be the very big tradition of the Q101 Halloween pop-up.
Halloweeny, baby.
It will be on Halloween night, Thursday, October 31st, Thursday night for Halloween this year. It is a 21 and over show. First come, first serve ticket. The guaranteed entry will be at Q101.com. It will be at the Cubby Bear. And our great friends, Wintrust Community Bank, sponsoring this one as well. And it will be Q101 Halloween pop-up with the American Authors. Well, there you go. American Authors, the Q101 Halloween pop-up, Halloween night. Will, of course, have a costume contest, have a big blast, and they will perform as another artist.
To be announced.
And also the American Authors. They'll be them, too, because they're pretty damn awesome.
Oh, hell yeah.
So put it on your calendar right now, of course, for Halloween night, Q101.com, all the information, and make sure you download, enter for a chance at the guaranteed entry passes because these have all been, raging lately. We've done all these pop-ups this year. They get packed. The guaranteed entry is awesome because you don't got to stress. You don't got to stress about trying to get in. Once you get that, you just kind of go, cool, I'm going to pop in with my SpongeBob SquarePants outfit, and I'm going to walk right in and have a good time and win the contest, too.
Are you going to be Bane or SpongeBob SquarePants?
I don't know. I was leaning toward Bane with all of the arc of Bane lately. That's happened. That's right.
I am here to see the American Authors and win the costume contest over all of these people who think they are good with their costumes, but they are not.
That guy could be president.
I was going to say, it got a little Trumpy near the end.
Can you sing the chorus of Best Day of My Life as Bane?
This is the best day of my life.
Ooh, 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 ooh.
Ooh. Oh.
I better be Bane, huh?
Oh. You're going to be tired. You have to order your drinks and everything like that.
Oh, God.
Order a vodka Red Bull really
Also,
fast from the Gummy Bear.
I'll be wearing the mask, so I got to take it off every time I want to drink, so I probably won't drink that much that night. It's going to be too hard.
Well, I'd be willing to give you a ride home if you don't drink.
All right, so the Q101 Halloween pop-up with American Authors, Halloween night, 21 and over. Download your free first-come, first-served ticket and enter for a chance to win that guaranteed entry pass at Q101.com, sponsored by the Cubby Bear and Wintrust Community Bank.
The Brian and Kenzie Show.
On Q101.
Brian and Kenzie on Q101. So we're just about 5 minutes away from The Offspring, the Q101 pop-up with The Offspring, your way to get in. It's the only way in to the free show at the Metro that we have going on through Riot Fest, of course, too, and, of course, the Metro, our great friends, Wintrust Community Bank. So we're going to talk about this story, and right at the end of it, we will give you that key word to get into the show. And this story is a doozy locally. An Uber driver in Chicago is accused of seeking revenge after he got a 1-star rating. Now, I just feel like every time I get an Uber driver, they have like a 5-star, and I see like 10,000 5-star ratings or something. Mm-hmm. But that must be what the problem is, because if they got too many 1-stars, they wouldn't be coming to pick me up, I guess.
I believe that is how the app works, is the lower your driver rating is, the harder it is to find passengers. If you're a passenger, the lower your rating is, the harder it is to find drivers, which begs the question, now I'm dying to know what your guys' Uber rating is.
Well, we'll get to that once we get through this story, because I'm getting my phone off the charger here, getting ready to check it here. So the Uber driver basically picked up a kid, a 17-year-old kid, at a house in the burbs, and the kid wanted to go to the, I think it was the Orleans Square Mall. And so he did that. And on the ride, the driver apparently was a maniac. This is the one side of the story. We don't have the driver's side of the story, at least at this point, but the police have been involved. But the driver basically was driving erratically and didn't take the highway, and the kid said maybe you should get on the highway, it'd be easier. They don't say where they're going from because they wanted their identity private at this point because of the scary situation. But the driver did a terrible job, according to the kid, and he gave him a 1-star rating. You should be allowed to do that, especially if the ride sucked, without having something like this happen. Basically, the driver showed up at the house where the kid lived the next day because of the 1-star rating and approached the mom who was at home. And first he kind of said, I had something that was left in my car that belonged to your son. He was trying to get in the house. And the mom,
to get in the house.
he was trying to get in, or at least get to the door where it would open. The mom wouldn't open the door. Good move on the mom, of course.
Yeah, don't open your door for people.
Then the guy started screaming and talked about the 1-star rating to the mom. And as he was finally leaving, he grabbed a brick and threw it at her car and then picked up the brick and threw it at the house, too.
See, I feel like this kid, this guy doesn't seem irrational at all. So I don't know what he's talking about. This guy seems super calm. How could you give him a 1-star? I don't believe you.
Very pragmatic, handling the situation perfectly. Excuse me, ma'am. I'd like to know
a real
about...
adult.
Yeah, pardon me. But I received a 1-star rating from your delightful son. Mm-hmm. I'd like to talk to him more about the situation.
I believe it was a mistake. I believe his fingers fumbled. That's why I'm here to just chat it up.
I understand the 5 is right next to the 1 on your phone.
It's very confusing. I get it. I understand.
By the way, I have some tea and crumpets for him outside if he'd talk with me.
Of course. Free water in the Uber.
Or Celsius and beef sticks, whichever would work to get the kid out of the house. So... yeah, this was terrifying, of course, for the family when this happened. Didn't know what was going on. And, of course, never open the door for anybody. That's what we're at now. You can't do that. You used to open the door and say, hello, what would you like? No, don't do that anymore.
No.
Now, Uber's basically they're saying that this is obviously bad conduct, unacceptable, but there's no information on whether he's been released as a contractor, because that's how it works with Uber and Lyft and the rideshare people. You're employed by a company as a contractor.
I don't like to tell people what to do at all. I think it's your business, your life.
But
if I were Uber, I think I would make the decision that he should no longer drive.
Well, you do have to do research on everything throughout the whole situation. I get it. But this obviously, if this is all true like this.
Showing up at someone's house and then throwing a brick at a car, even prior to the driving incident, I would say, well, we can't. Maybe he shouldn't have any more addresses. Maybe he's lost the address privilege.
It seems to be undisputed at this point that happened. The police, there's an incident report on file. This is terrifying, though. But again, this is kind of when you're one-on-one with someone and you give them a rating. You have to give them a rating. Obviously, you do it after you're out of the car. But also, they know, who you are. It's not necessarily like a restaurant if you give something to.
I thought that they weren't supposed to see it because of this.
I don't know. If there's any Uber or Lyft drivers out there who work at it, and can you see... Well, obviously, this guy saw the address. He picked the kid up there. Did he remember the address and went back the next day?
Here's the thing. Maybe he had all 5-star reviews until this kid, and it was process of elimination.
I don't think so.
You think he might have been unhinged before that one particular ride?
I don't think this is just a one-off scenario.
He looks back in hindsight, he's like, God, I was so angry that day. I don't know what got into me.
I've had a perfect record.
Good heavens, that is just not like me.
What is your rating? Do you have your rating up as a passenger?
I haven't checked in a long time, so
I just checked right now because I've never checked.
Really? It used to be a thing to do. It used to be a flex.
Oh,
it was. I remember really caring about my Uber rating for a long time.
Yeah,
really? I didn't realize we had one.
Bad news for you.
Hey.
Yeah. Now I am
I
actually
would have talked a little less.
I'm the king of small talk.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, so you have a 1.
No, that'd be a good thing. They want conversation, I think.
I don't think they do. And Brian, I've been in Ubers with you, and you do not shut up.
Damn right. Because you know what? It's my time. I'm doing what I want. I like talking.
It's your time. Just sit in the car and be quiet.
It's weird.
No, it's not.
It is. It's very strange to sit in someone's car you don't know
just
quiet.
Leave them, put some AirPods in and just relax.
Well, let's find out right now. Because do you sit there and put AirPods in and don't talk, Kenzie?
Yeah, I try to leave people alone.
What do you do, Case, in an Uber, no talk?
I desperately want to leave people alone.
Yeah, so, if they're talking to me, I'm like, well, now I'm going to, now you have to respect them and talk back. But if no one's talking, I pick up on the vibe.
Okay.
What's yours?
Well, who wants to go first?
Who do you think has the highest rating?
I think I have the highest rating because I am engaging to the driver and I in conversation. I engage first. I don't wait.
You think you have highest? I would say Case probably has the highest.
Well, Kenzie, I think you probably have the highest. I think people like you.
Oh.
Yeah, they want to give you. They don't judge you as a passenger. They judge you as a person, as the way you look, and so they give you 5 stars all the time.
Yeah.
Why do you think Case has the highest?
Because I think he's like kind of shy in a weird way. So like, what is he gonna do? He's not gonna cause a commotion. No one's gonna be annoyed. And he's never gotten in an Uber wasted.
That's true.
That's true.
Yeah.
I have.
Yeah, I've been in Ubers with you wasted before.
Oh my God.
And this is what I'm saying.
You start talking about your childhood and all the regrets you have.
God.
I remember we were leaving Twisted Christmas a few years ago. It was you, me, and our friend Ted in an Uber together, and you started lamenting about your childhood, and it was so uncomfortable for everybody.
Okay, Case, I drove him home for Twisted Christmas this year, and I wish I could have given him a rating. I'm like, well, I'm not doing this again.
I really want to stand my ground here and say I still have the highest rating, but you guys are putting chops in it. It's getting down.
Okay, what's your rating? You go first because you think you have the highest.
Okay, I think I have the highest. So my passenger rating, which if you don't know how to find it, you should all find it and text it in so we all know who's got the ratings.
Or don't.
All you do is open the Uber app and go to account, and it's in the
under
upper.
your name.
It's under your name in the upper left corner. Mine is 4.90.
Okay.
You guys are quiet. I don't know what that means. Who wants?
Case, you go.
Who wants to go next?
Case goes next.
My Uber rating on the app
Yeah.
is 4.91.
No, I don't believe it.
They love silence. They love when I sit in silence. It's their driver's favorite thing.
Oh
Okay,
God.
are you ready?
Oh boy, here we go.
I am 4.95.
Wow.
How dare you guys? How dare you have society accepting silence in a car?
Maybe you should learn from your mistakes.
This is a massive win for people that want to be left alone. Enough with the small talk. We've had it.
You know what? I'm not changing.
Oh, I know. Trust me.
I just
Your
haven't
Uber
got.
score well.
I just haven't gotten the right drivers. Apparently, I'm not going to get picked up anymore. So I guess the whole situation's mute.
You can do it.
Now is your chance to win passes to the Q101 pop-up with The Offspring at the Metro in Chicago. Message and data rates apply. Please don't text and drive.
Q101.
Before I get that word, I'm really disappointed. I really am in
knew you
society.
would be.
I'm really upset. But I'm not upset if you win this. Here we go. The Q101 pop-up with The Offspring. Come out and play. Sponsored by our great friends, Wintrust Community Bank at the Metro, Thursday, September 19th. The only way in is to win. So, the key word to text right now to get in is play. P-L-A-Y. Play. To 312-591-8300. You get 2 tickets to the show. And this is the only way in. That's it. This is a pop-up, and it's free, like we always do with you. But the Metro, Offspring, there's going to be 20,000 people that want to get into this, so it's got to be somewhat orderly. And so get a ticket to win. So text play right now to 312-591-8300. In case if I'm correct, that word is active until 8:59.
That is correct, Brian.
So if you're driving in traffic and you don't want to, it's bad out there right now, you want to wait a few minutes, it's not a race. Just text whenever you can before 8:59 with Brian and Kenzie here on Q101.
The Brian and Kenzie Show.
On Q101.
The Brian and Kenzie Show.
On Q101.
It's Brian and Kenzie on Q101. Time for Head to Headlines, where we give you 2 headlines, and based on those headlines alone, you pick one and decide the story that you want to hear more about. Now, the catch is, we will never talk about the other story again, ever. So choose wisely when you hear these headlines. Which one intrigues you? You text in headline number 1 or headline number 2 to 312-591-8300 based on which one you want. So here we go. Headline number 1. I stole a gorilla. So what? Man behind retirement home ape heist appears in court.
So what?
That's his legal defense.
A lot of things.
So that's headline number 1. If you want to hear more about that story, text the headline number 1, but not before you hear headline number 2. And headline number 2 is, officials thought this bald eagle was injured. It was actually just, quote, too fat to fly, end quote.
Well, that's obviously my spirit animal.
So those are the headlines to choose from. Do I need to read them again?
Yeah, please do.
Okay, real quick.
What hurts my heart?
Headline number, they both have quotes in the headline too, which is interesting. So headline number 1, quote, I stole a gorilla, so what? Man behind retirement home ape heist appears in court. And then headline number 2, officials thought this bald eagle was injured. It was actually just, quote, too fat to fly, end quote.
You know, apes are heavy. I have questions about the first one. Like, that's heavy.
Okay.
I mean, apparently so is the bald eagle.
That's what I thought you were trying to get to there.
It is ape heist. What is?
So this is why the headline alone can be intriguing enough to want you to hear more of the story or not. So 312-591-8300. Text in headline number 1 or headline number 2. And after the cranberries, we will dive into the one story you choose. You decide the content. It's your show. It's Brian and Kenzie on Q101.
The Brian and Kenzie Show.
Q101.
Brian and Kenzie on Q101. Head to headlines. We gave you 2 headlines before the cranberries, and now we have an answer. You chose the content in this break. It's Brian and Kenzie on Q101. So to recap those headlines, headline number 1 was, quote, I stole a gorilla, so what? Man behind retirement home ape heist appears in court. And headline number 2 also had a quote in it. Headline number 2 was, officials thought this bald eagle was injured. It was actually just, quote, too fat to fly, end
So we're
quote.
just going to fat shame now? What's going on?
I guess in the headlines, that's what happened. So, now, this one, they've been close lately, but this one was unanimous about the gorilla.
Yes.
People want to hear more about what was going on with the gorilla. So really, I guess they just figured that second headline tells the story. The bird's too fat to fly.
Yeah, end of story.
I
No
mean,
questions.
Why do I need to know more about that one? We got a fat bald eagle. Like it represents America, just like everybody else. It's American bird, American fat
It's
people.
an American bird.
So we are going to dive into it right now. I stole a gorilla, so what? Man behind retirement home ape heist appears in court, and here is the story. A search for Matthew Newbound occurred, and this is the thief who stole a 20-kilogram gorilla statue. So it was a statue, it wasn't a live gorilla. It was a statue from a Melbourne, Australia retirement village. Admits he made a, quote, silly mistake. So I looked it up. Actually, 20 kilograms is 44 pounds.
That's a lot.
How is that a mistake?
He
How
said,
do you accidentally do it?
he said it was a silly mistake. We'll dive in the story more and
Okay.
see how he describes it. Because this story has a lot of nuggets you'll want to stick around to. And actually, at the end of the story, by the way, we'll give you that keyword again for the Q101 pop-up with the offspring. So you have a chance to get in now that you're done texting for the story. So hang tight here, and we'll get you in free to see Offspring at the Metro. So
Okay.
the thief admitted he made a very silly mistake in pinching a beloved gorilla statue from a retirement village. Just on that statement alone, I wonder why a retirement village has a gorilla statue out front.
I wondered the same thing when you said that. Is it named after a famous gorilla?
Or a famous retired person.
Is it the King Kong home of relaxation?
To you, Brian, what is a famous retired person?
I would say Eugene.
Levy?
Eugene. No.
He's still working.
He's still working.
That guy, you can't get him off the screen.
A famous retired person. You know who a famous retired person is? Gene Hackman, the actor Gene Hackman.
Okay.
He did a billion great movies, including Hoosiers, and he's retired at 93 from acting.
Good for him.
Yeah.
All right, there you go.
There we go. The thief admitted it was a very silly mistake. Matthew Newbound was his name. He pleaded guilty to stealing the 20-kilogram garden ornament named Gary. That's who it was called.
Gary the gorilla? That's cute.
Yeah, from a retirement village in
Be cute. Love it.
Melbourne. The 33-year-old went on to buy a chest of drawers in that area, which is, I don't know Australia well, but it was Leith Park Village.
Okay.
He went to go buy a chest of drawers. Is that a
chest of drawers? Isn't that just like a
chest.
yeah,
what do you call the where you
like
put,
an armoire?
what do you call a dresser is what the word I'm looking for. Isn't it just a dresser for your underwear
A
and
dresser,
shirts?
an armoire, a nightstand. I guess depending on how many drawers are in your nightstand.
In Australia,
they ain't got a word for that.
in Australia they call it a chest of drawers.
That sounds. I mean, it sounds beautiful. What do you say it like that?
Yeah.
A chest of drawers.
So he was going to buy a chest of drawers when he spotted the gorilla statue perched on a tree stump and said, I'm going to take that. I guess he didn't know he needed the chest of drawers anymore.
Well, I get it. You ever go antique shopping? It's not what you go in there for. It's what you find along the way. He thought he wanted the chest of drawers, and then the gorilla statue spoke to him very quickly.
Right.
Well, he needed something to put in the drawers.
Exactly.
So he grabbed the gorilla statue and put it in the back of his truck. And A member of the public saw the gorilla perched in the back of the vehicle and snapped a photo before contacting police. So everybody must have known this gorilla is the retirement home Gary the Gorilla. And it was in the back of his truck driving away.
Wow. Is there a Chicago equivalent of a Gary? What thing could we steal that everybody would know about?
The bean.
Wow. Good luck.
What are they doing? They stole an ape, a huge ape statue. Is that notice it or notice it?
I don't know if
Okay.
the
If you
bean,
saw the bean,
I don't know if that'll
gold.
fit in the back of an F-150.
Maybe they can put it on like a trailer bed.
Look
I'm
up.
like, damn it.
Will you please look up the weight of the bean? Because the gorilla weighed 44 pounds. I don't.
Brian, do you remember a month ago when we saw Wee Man on the street corner and we thought there's no way that's Wee Man? Can you imagine being in your car at a stoplight and driving by and seeing the bean and going, well, there's no way that's the bean.
It's 110 tons.
Okay.
Which is the same weight as 15 elephants.
Okay.
So if you got a big flatbed, you can put 15 elephants on a big flatbed.
I know you feel strong because you drive a Jeep. And you probably think the bean you could tug the bean with your
I
Jeep.
didn't say I could do it.
Okay.
But you see those like semi trucks, and the back of them is just a bunch of cars.
I can't remember when the bean was built. Did they bring it in pieces?
Or did they build it there?
That's what I mean. Like they brought it in pieces and built it there.
How would you build that? I think they grew it. It's a bean. They planted it and watched it grow.
I got to go look back because it's 20 years now of the bean. I don't remember when it was put in there. Like it was just there all of a sudden. The bean was there. Anyway, back to the gorilla that was stolen. So people spotted him with the gorilla in the back of his truck, Gary the Gorilla, and he was arrested on July 5th, and a search of his phone revealed text messages to his friends, which goes to the title of the story. One of the texts to his friends was, quote, LOL, I stole a gorilla. So what? That was to one of his friends.
What an incriminating text. You can't even be like, please, I didn't even mean that.
Yeah,
I didn't-
context.
it
It was taken out of context.
That's not even what I was talking about. I was talking about that gorilla.
He was disqualified from driving at the time of the theft after losing his license in July of last year, so he shouldn't have been even driving.
That's tough.
Yeah.
It's tough to know that you're not legally allowed to drive and to put a massive gorilla that you stole that everyone can see in your truck bed.
He was getting away with driving illegally for a year until he put the gorilla in the back of his truck.
Why, I mean, like, why would you do that? Why would you put something? We put a siren on top of your car too.
Sometimes they say, criminals, they want to get caught, like serial killers eventually. I think he wanted to get caught, so he stole the gorilla.
I don't think he wanted to get caught. I think he just thought it was funny. Where was he going to put the gorilla?
Doesn't say. Well, we'll see at the story. We're almost at the end of the story here, but he did say that he told the court that he made a stupid and opportunistic decision to steal Gary and never had intention to sell Gary, the statue. He just wanted it for some reason.
He just wanted it.
So it was very silly.
Very silly. And they're like, now what about you driving illegally for a year? Is he going to be like, also silly? I'm just a goofy guy.
Well, we'll find out what happened to him here in a sec. So he says they ordered him to take community corrections order assessment, which must be like community service here. I don't know if he wears the vest and cleans up the Kennedy or the garbage and stuff. I don't
Probably
know.
had to put back the gorilla statue as part of a community
And
service.
then clean up the mess he made.
Yeah.
He probably has to clean the diapers of the elderly people in the retirement home.
I think that should be leave to like trained professionals for care, not like used as a punishment for an irresponsible person.
The judge said, keep working and stay out of trouble, the judge said. Australia's really different than here, isn't it?
What do you think would happen here?
I think you got tased
Yeah.
a couple times in your cell.
Yeah.
And then like, what else did you do? You murdered somebody, didn't you?
He falls victim to the American prison system. It's really a sad story.
We got to solve this murder,
You know what? He
man.
doesn't seem like that great of a guy. Let's settle down. He's not a victim.
Well, we don't know what's going to happen to him. His bail was extended to his next court date, so we don't know if he's going to go to jail. It sounds like it's going to be community service at this point.
Just community service for theft and illegally driving for a year?
Kenzie, it's an island full of criminals. What do you expect?
That's Australia.
Oh.
So there you go. There's the story. I stole a gorilla. So what? We texted his friend.
No wonder he said so what. He's gonna have to like cut some grass. Like, what a big deal.
Yeah, nothing. Okay, we promised to get you that word at the end of the headlines. The key word to text in right now is the word play to 312-591-8300. That is for the Q101 pop-up with the Offspring. Come out and play at the Metro Thursday, September 19th. The only way in is to win. Sponsored by our great friends, Wintrust Community Bank. So we gave that word out at 8. It's good for another about 20 minutes till 8:59. So if you're driving in the moment, you're like, I got to text in the word. Just call them. What do you pull over the side? And then text the word in. You have about 20 minutes to get it in. And if you missed that whole opportunity, Lauren at noon will have another word for you. Brian Phillips at 5 p.m. and at 8 p.m. tonight as well. 3 more chances today, but we're still in the window to win from us. Brian and Kenzie on Q101. Text PLAY to 312-591-8300 right now. A historically unique opportunity to see the Offspring at the Metro. Haven't played there since 1998.
Brian and Kenzie in the morning. And Chicago's alternative all day.
Q101.